Guys, welcome to my channel, and today we're talking about n8n. n8n is the ultimate automation tool, but let's talk about automation. What is automation and how we got into automation? As you can see here, manual work is dying due to the rise of digital architects, and n8n changes everything. We're living through a shift in productivity history where we're shifting from using old computers which require manual labor into using digital systems that work while we sleep. But these things, we see them happening every day because back then we used to have this type of phones that you have to put the number in and call the person using a wire, and now we're having digital phones. You can just say, call this person that you saved in your contact, and automatically your phone will call the person. So that is very good. But anyway, there's a scaling problem that comes with automation. Automation back then, when it was first here, when n8n wasn't in the chart yet, it was the cost of complexity was big, data silos, locked features, and the black box problem. What are we saying here? When we're shifting from the old computers, automation tools were expensive because they were being paid per task, and suddenly you would notice that automation tools would be very expensive. This is due to this caused rising costs in automation tools, which was very bad, and also all the data that you used and everything, your data, your credentials, everything, they wouldn't, you didn't really own them logically. They were like not owned by you, so it wasn't secure. That's other thing also. So that is what they call the scaling problem and the CP attacks. But anyway, this is when n8n comes into the chart. How does n8n work? n8n is an application or a software. It does not use code, and it is a node-based visual interface where you just drag and drop. So this is the icon of n8n. So here it is, you can host it yourself, meaning you're going to own the data in your workflows. Unlike what was happening in the first era of automation, where we had the Zapier attacks, most of the things you did, all of the tasks you automated, they were not really owned by you. Now, in n8n, the data and the workflows, they are owned by you. You keep them in your own host, whether you're doing it as a self-hosted or a cloud-hosted. And no more per task limit means n8n is cheaper, unlike the before automation tools we had. So let's get deeper into n8n. This is the application logo. It looks like this circle and connected wires. This is basically how the application works. These circles, for examples, could be like nodes, as shown here in the diagram here, because this is a basic example of a workflow where an automation is happening and there's an AI agent. So in n8n, we move from lines to code. This means that you don't have to know how to write code for you to use n8n. It's just a drag and drop application. Basically, it's like Lego. You know, you've played with Lego tools and you just take a Lego block and then you put it on top of the other. That's basically how n8n works. And also it has custom nodes whereby if you want to write custom code whenever off the shelf solutions fails, like for example, if you're not understanding the node sequence, you can just put a node and then you write your code so that you explain what exactly you need to happen. Now, the AI inflection point. What are we saying? Beyond simple data transfer, you can also aid the brain to the workflow. Just like you see here, in this workflow, we have Anthropic chat model. It could be any model like ChatGPT, Anthropic, so many models out there. You can add any model you want, GPT-4, Claude, so many. So, for example, here, okay, there's hold on. We're saying that the magic happens when we add AI or GPT models into an n8n workflow, because this makes the workflow alive, rather, because you're now using AI to control everything that happens. For example, here, for example, let's say you have a company and you want to check if a person is a manager or not. The person creates a form, and then they submit the form, and then the AI will check all the details, and then it will see if the person is a manager. They'll add them to a channel in Slack. If they're not, they'll update the profile. So basically, this is how n8n works. But then we have n8n plus AI. This is a powerhouse combo. What are we saying? Native AI nodes, LangChain, vector store integrations, autonomous decision making. As you can see here, this is an AI agent that we talk about. And this agent has an open AI chat model. The other one we had was having Anthropic, which is Claude. So basically, this means we can add any type of large language, of any learning model we want to use in our workflow. And we can also add vector store integrations. As you can see, this workflow has got a super base vector store, which makes it more smarter and faster in decision making. So this means we can build agents that just don't follow a script. They can read, reason, and respond based on the context of your specific business. So for example, in the Superbase here store, you can add context about your business. If, for example, this one is a customer service for a company called Miners Up, so maybe in here they have the stock, so that if a customer asks for something, the agent will reply with the products they have, not what they don't have, but actual projects, actual products they have in store. So that makes it very good for business and very good for decision making, So down here again, we have another example of real life example where an AI agent can work. I'm sure we saw this one in the before slide, whereby a user puts a form to check if they're the manager or not. Basically, it is the same process. But here there's another different demonstration of an AI agent. Imagine a workflow that receives tickets, checks knowledge base, and then pings if you're angry. Actually, angry, that's 10 minutes. Okay, so basically, this type of workflow, you can build it in like 10 minutes or less in n8n. So this n8n can actually reduce work done maybe by a receptionist or someone who has to check the credentials for a person to join a channel or something like that. So it's very, very well helpful in today's world, and it actually makes sense to have AI agents. So there's a common mistake that people do in automation. For example, automating a broken process, lack of error handling, ignoring data security. As you can see in this slide here, this workflow has got so many nodes with errors. So you don't automate a mess. If your manual process is broken, n8n will just not run anything. Everything will be so broken just as it is here. So you need to make sure that you fix these problems before you actually start running. Otherwise, you'll just be playing around, not doing anything, not automating anything. So this is how you have to go if you want to get started into it. And now that you understand what automation and AI agents are, to get started, You can get the desktop app, cloud, or self-hosted. You self-hosted by Docker. So basically, you need the application, this application called n8n. You can download it, that's fine, or you can just go to their website and then you use the cloud version, or you can set it up by yourself. I'll put a link on a video on how to set up Docker using how to set up n8n using Docker, which is what most people do because it's more professional and it's like your data is kept safe. So these are the three ways you can do to use n8n right away. But if you wanna use it and if you're ready to check it out, you can go to the website n8n.com and then you start using. I'm sure if you're a new user, you get up to like 14 days, which is very good. So n8n actually is the future. So from workflows to ecosystems, we're going to be having AI agents and AI workflows talking together, doing a lot of work, just as shown here in this picture. So this will be like a neural network of all workflows working in harmony. So we're moving towards a world where one person can run 10 operations using n8n. So this is what they say when they say most people are going to lose their jobs. These are the type of things that will be happening. So learning n8n is not just a skill, it's actually a powerhouse in the 2026 economy. So this is what you should do on your next move. You should build your first workflow. And if you want to work with me and make progress together, because I'm learning too, you can just comment node on this video, and I'm creating a beginner's guide as I'm learning too, and maybe it might be easy for you to understand, as I am not someone who understands everything for now. So the n8n is all about being a user to being a creator. If you're ready to be the first agent, then just hit the subscribe button and check the link that I've put for setting it up and downloading everything. Also, I have some templates that I have. So if you need templates, I can just send them to you. Thank you so much for watching.